Hi, my name is Richard Campfield. I'm the president of Ultrabond. And this video is how to practice repairing windshields in the comfort of your own home. Many people, when they first get into the business, they can't find a way to practice. They usually call their family and their friends and find out how many of them have broken windshields and practice on them. Well, you can do that, but we don't want you to not get out there and get going because you don't feel that you've got enough practice. So this is how you can practice hundreds of breaks in your own home and get some confidence and get out there and do it. This is a workstation. If you go under our manual in our website, you'll see a link to buy this workstation. It only costs $20 plus shipping. You can also go to Home Depot or go to our website and you get 2 sawhorses. Then you want to buy a piece of laminated glass. This is a 3 feet by 4 foot piece of laminated glass. And then what we're going to do is we're going to show you how to make stone brakes and to practice with. And we're going to make a variety of different type of brakes. Okay, this is how you make stone brakes in a piece of laminated glass. Make a little pilot first with your drill, and in your kit you've got a spring-loaded center punch, and you can adjust this for making different types of brakes or more severe brakes. And find your pilot hole, and there you have what's called a combination brake. Again, this center punch will normally give you a combination brake. Here's you'll see probably maybe about 17% of your repairs out there in the real world are going to be called a combination brake. What makes this a combination brake is it is a star within a bullseye. And this is the bullseye. Whenever a brake has a bullseye, you do not need to drill it. Okay? Whenever there's a bullseye, a black circle underneath the impact point, you do not need to drill it. Now this particular brake also has what we call an extended legs. See, these are cracks that are extending beyond the bullseye. Those are called extended legs. Okay? That's like the most severe stone brake you're going to see out there. Now the other brakes you're going to see out there, we'll make them right here. You want to take your drill, make a little pilot, and then take your probe and stick it in there. I use this is a screwdriver, nice wooden handle, and there we make a little brake. That's a little star brake. And also you get a large pit to practice with. You can turn it at an angle to create a different type of a brake. There you go. Now you have what we call a partial bullseye. So again, you just make a pilot hole with your drill, take your probe and turn it to different angles, and you'll be able to get different brakes. And that's how you can practice making brakes again in your home. Now let's repair one of these. This one is a very common brake. This one here is called the partial bullseye, meaning it's like a half circle. And this, believe it or not, is 25% of the brakes in a windshield. So you want to take your probe and clean out the impact point a little bit. When you do a repair with the Ultrabond Crackmaster, the way you put this O-ring in is you want this clean and dry, because when you put this quad ring in, you're going to leave it in, because you do not take this out to refill it. Okay? And if it's wet with resin in the seat, then it's going to slip out. So again, you got it nice and dry and clean. That's when you put your quad ring in. And then to fill it up, you stick the resin in there and you give it a squeeze. Now normally we put a dab of Vaseline on these suction cups because that way you can move it around a little bit when you're doing a repair. And a lot of times it's good to just mount it right next to it. And notice again, you peel these suction cups back. Put your bolt down until the front is leaning forward. And then bring your piston cylinder down, injector, until you're level. Now, a way to make sure you're level is you're not on the brake, and that is just put it on pressure until you see that O-ring rise. See, it's not leaking, so that means you're level. Okay, then back it off a little bit, slide it over to the impact point, pull a vacuum, put it on pressure. Oops, got a drop of resin there. This will increase the pressure, as will this, and increase the flex. Doing a couple of vacuum and pressure cycles creates interaction with the glass, meaning the resin is getting sucked in and moved around by the vacuum and pressure, and that really helps with the wicking, getting the resin in those little craters. So normally you can only need to hold the vacuum for a few seconds with the Ultrabond tool, and then we put it down on the pressure. It's on pressure when you see the O-ring rise a little bit, and then you just let it fill. Normally a partial Bullseye will fill within a minute or so. It's a very fast repair, and as you can see, this one is filled. You can always check by pressing near a crack, and then that'll show you whether it's filled or not. You'll see it glare, and then when you let go, if it disappears, then you know it's filled. Okay, so this brake is finished. Now you're going to put your UV light and cure it under pressure. You take your UV light holder and you place it there, and you want to cure it under pressure for 2 minutes. Okay, now we've cured it for 2 minutes under pressure. Now we're going to take our tool off. Now what you want to do is pull this back a turn, pull your bolt, and turn it upside down. Now normally if you have a small pit or a small hole, you can use the same resin to pit fill. And just put your film tab on top of there, and then put your UV light on there, and always peel the suction cups back. And pits you want to do for 1 minute. So you want to cure a pit for 1 minute. And the reason you want to do that for only 1 minute is the Ultrabond resin is it's got a very strong bond. Some of the tests we've done have shown that it was actually stronger than the glass. And if you leave our resin on there and you pit fill for more than a minute, you forgot about it, you could come back and pull this tab off, and you can go to scrape it, and you'll see little holes where you had your resin. And what happened was that was pieces of the glass coming off with the resin. That could be from a low quality windshield that can cause that, or the windshield just had a lot of spots on it, and the resin bonded so much that when you scraped it off, it took little teeny pieces of the glass on there. So again, that's why we pit fill for 1 minute and no longer than 1 minute. So we don't want that to happen. And I think it's been 1 minute or less. And we'll check. You can always pull up the corner here, and when it pulls up like that, you know you've cured. Okay. Now on a stone brake repair, you scrape it at a 90-degree angle, and then you feel it. Now, if you feel that, that was a larger pit, okay, and it's not smooth. So when that happens, then you take your pit filler, put a drop in there, and you do it again. Okay, so we're going to let this cure for 1 minute, and then we're going to scrape it off. Alright, it's been on for about probably 1 minute now. Now here's a handy way to get a polished pit without pit polish. Now you can see how clear that is, and it'd be nice if we can keep it that way. Believe it or not, this spray away glass cleaner, if you spray this on here and then slice off your pit, it works actually better than actual pit polish. Okay, so again, how to get a polished pit without doing pit polish is to spray your spray away glass cleaner on the pit and then keep it well lubricated while you scrape off your pit. Okay. Well, again, this is the video on how to practice at home and become proficient and confident to get out there and do it. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Again, this was your video on how to practice at home and to build confidence and get out there in the real world. You can buy these pieces of glass in a rack, and you can do hundreds of repairs before you even touch a customer's car. So thank you for watching, and for more information and see the rest of our videos, and as a customer, read our manuals. Thanks again.